Hello everyone. Today I'm going to take some time to go over the file structure of a simple Java program that you see here that is used to write a file. And we're going to kind of deconstruct it kind of line by line. It might be more of a review to everybody than actual new stuff, but it still kind of makes sense because there's still a couple things that are happening here, well more than a couple things that are happening here that are worth discussing. Just like anything in Java, just because, like for example, when you're writing a program to do something, you tend to have to write a lot of other code to do other things. Like here, we have some code that you see on line 1 and 2 that we need to import specific classes from packages. And also we got this thing on line 6 and line 13 called the try catch, which I don't know if you know what that means or if it's been covered, but if not, I'm going to cover it here. Now, what this file does, or what this class does simply, is it writes a file. But let's talk about what we're doing here. We have our import statements. Our import statements, remember, import classes from packages. Again, here the package is java.io, and the class is file, or IO exception. Now remember what we do here is like here we have file, and here we have IO exception. In Java, like a lot of other languages, if it's not part of the core language, we import it. And that's what you see here. So what I'm doing here is on line 5 is I have line 7 I have my file, and on line 13 you can see I have my catch IO exception. So that's why I need to do those imports. Let me talk about this try catch a little bit. I highlighted here line 7 through 12. That is everything in my try block. That's everything between the open paren on line 6 and the closed paren there on line 13. What this means is error handling, system error handling will take an effect in your Java program while this code is executing. And if for some reason there is a system error, the code in the catch block from line 13 to 16 gets executed. So really what happens here is on line 7 is I'm creating a file. So going back to that try catch, if for some reason this file doesn't get created and there's some system error, processing will automatically go down to your catch block. Here, there's really only a couple of lines of code here. We're going to write out to system out, and then we got 15 print stack trace. Now, actually, the print stack trace will automatically write out the standard error. I believe we talked about that at some point, standard in, standard out, and standard error. So print stack trace just writes out the standard error, which is in most cases the terminal, but you can redirect it to a file or whatever. So anyway, back to this. So on line 7, we're creating a new file right here, and what we'll do here is on line 9, I'm just going to say file is created. Otherwise, it's just going to go down to this else block. The file already exists. Now remember, we're going to point out here that if you create a new file that already exists, it's not going to throw a system error. It just won't create the file. Remember, the try catch is for system errors. In this case, what we're doing is we're catching what's called an IO exception, which would be triggered by line 7 if there's some system error when I try to create the file. As a matter of fact, the program won't compile without that try catch because line 7 requires it. Now, I want to point out a couple things here. This is a fairly straightforward program. Let me talk just a little bit on how this file gets created. Based on default error handling and default security, since we're running Java in a browser, your computer locally might not allow you to create this file name.txt on your command line, just because your computer might look at this as a script and it might look at this as malicious, so it might not allow the file to be created. That doesn't mean the code's wrong. That just means that we just have a whole different rabbit hole to go down where to get this to actually write file name.txt to the command line, we may have to do some things such as some alterations to make it work. So that's all I had for you today. If you have any questions, reach out to me. Thank you for making it this far, and I wish you all a very well rest of the day. Thank you.